Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is the second update video. As you can see from the title, it's going to be just the update on how I'm going with the book series that I want to read in 2024. But before we get into that, I thought I would also kind of just do an update on how I'm going with my reading goals as well. So with our reading goals, the first one was that I want to read 60 books. I'm currently have read 53 or 54 books, so I'm going to smash that one out, no issues. Obviously, the 24 books to read in 2024. I'm currently doing really well. I've read 17 of the 24 books, so that's going great. Book series to read. Not going to update you on that one because obviously that's the point of this video, so you will find out very shortly. Read 4 days a week. I have only had 1 or 2 weeks this year so far where I haven't managed to read 4 days, but every other week I'm reading like 6 to 7 days, so we're smashing that. I'm happy with it. Get my TBR to under 100 books. As of today, I think I'm at 99 books. And then the next goal was only purchase 36 books. So basically that means I can only purchase 3 books a month. However, if I buy less books 1 month, I get to bank that extra book for another month. So far, I am doing really well on that challenge because I'm not even up to date with the amount of books I'm allowed to buy. I've got a couple banked, so we're going okay. Then the next one is my Taylor Swift challenge, which was the Taylor Swift Eras Reading Challenge. For each album, I have ticked off a prompt for every single album except for Red, Reputation, and Midnight. I've done Debut, Fearless, Speak Now, 1989, Lover, Folklore, and Evermore. And then the other challenge is my Speak Now Taylor's Version reading challenge. So we're going pretty well. I've done most of the prompts. I've got 6 left to fill in the last 6 months, so if I can do 1 a month, we're going to be fine. The ones I haven't done is for mine, which the prompt is reread one of your favorite books. I've purposely left this one because I don't like to do rereads when I have so many unread books in my TBR. Then we also have Back to December, which is a book set in December/winter. I'm probably going to save it for December when I read a Christmas novel that I have, because that'll be set in December, and winter because it's America, so that'll probably tick off that prompt. So I probably won't finish this challenge until December. And then we also have Never Grow Up, which is a book that follows the protagonist growing up. I don't tend to read books about children. I don't know how I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to have to do some researching to find a book for that prompt. And then we have Innocent, which is a book that features second chance/forgiveness. I just haven't really thought about a book that I could do for that. Then we have Long Live, which is a fantasy book, preferably one featuring dragons. Now you're probably thinking, Nicole, you've read like 2 to 3 dragon books. And to that I say, yes, I have. But to that I also say, I didn't like them. And Long Live is probably my #1 favorite song off of Speak Now. And I am not using a book for that song that I didn't enjoy. You know, we still got 6 months. It's fine. I can do it. And then the last song that we have is I Can See You. And the prompt is a guilty pleasure read. And I just haven't found one that I feel is a guilty pleasure. But that's how we are going with our reading goals. So I think I've spent enough time discussing them. But let's just get straight into the book series that I want to read in 2024. So just to start off with, I wanted to read 6 book series. Some of them do feature on the 24 books I want to read in 2024, and some of them are completely new to this challenge. But I guess we'll talk about the book series that I have read. So the very first series that I finished off was the Little Bridge Island series by Meg Cabot, which features no judgments, no offense, and also no words. I rated all of these books 3.5 stars. I do actually have a dedicated 12-hour reading vlog where I actually read these 3 novels. So if I remember, I will link this one down below. But these are like a companion series that isn't really that linked. Unfortunately, I wanted the main characters in the other books to make more of an appearance, but they don't. Also, I'm not going to discuss the names of main characters because I genuinely don't remember them. In this book, we focus on our female main character. She lives on Little Bridge Island. She's moved here, just works in like the cafe. A hurricane is coming and she refuses to evacuate because she thinks she'll be fine. She kind of is. During the hurricane is that the bridge actually gets damaged and everyone that has evacuated cannot come back. These people evacuated, leaving their pets at home, and I just can't fathom on what planet would I be evacuating and leaving Oliver alone in this house. Like, if I'm evacuating, he's the first fucking thing in the car. Sorry, he is my child. He is getting in the car. No way am I leaving my dog, or any pet for that matter, that I love and adore, in my house when there's a goddamn fucking hurricane coming and I'm leaving. If I'm leaving, it means it's not safe and I'm concerned and I'm scared, and my dog is coming with me. So I judge these imaginary characters so hard because you have to be a really shitty kind of person to be leaving your animal during a hurricane. Because she stayed on the island, people are contacting her to check on their pets. That's essentially what happens, and there's a grumpy male lead, and I just didn't like it. We then focus on this book, which is the librarian on Little Bridge Island and also the police chief officer head dude. She finds a baby in a library, so she calls the cops and he arrives and they work together to find out who the parents are, which they do. And then there's this subplot of rich people living in people's houses that drives him up the wall, and I just didn't enjoy it. And the book that I had earmarked to be my favorite was in fact No Words. I was correct, it was my favorite. We focus on authors in the publishing world. There is an author who lives on Little Bridge Island. He works with the librarian from the second book to kind of put together the very first book festival on Little Bridge Island, and she is invited to come along because he kind of stuffed things up with her the first time they met, and also then kind of accidentally insulted her in an interview, and she's so hung up on it. She's a children's author. She has not let it go. It's been years, and she only agrees to come to the book festival because she gets confirmation that he won't be on the island at all. She gets there and he's there, and it's a nightmare. But yeah, like I said, rated them all 3.5 stars. I will link that reading vlog if you want to watch it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I was hoping to, which was a little disappointing for me. Then the second series that I read was the Legend trilogy by Mary Lou, which features the first novel Legend, the sequel Prodigy, and then the third novel Champion. I rated all of these books 3 stars. I do maintain that if I had read these books if I'd read these books like 10 years ago when they came out, I definitely think I would have loved them because I would have been the target audience. I've grown up, I'm 31. I've read this kind of book before, and I just think other authors have done it better, and I didn't really enjoy it. It is this dystopian style novel where we have like a criminal. The Republic is trying to find them because he's messing with them. We then also have the Republic soldier. She's a prodigy and her father ends up being killed. Her name's June, his name is Day. That's all I remember. And it's basically put out that Day was the one that murdered her brother, so she wants to find him, and then we kind of uncover this whole other plot and stuff happens, and it just really follows your standard dystopian novel, and that's all I can say. I'm glad I've read it. There is a 4th book, I think it's called like Rebel, and it's like a prequel or something. I'm not quite sure how it links in. I have no intentions of picking it up. The only reason that I read these books was because I purchased all of them together, but in all honesty, if I had just picked up Legend, I wouldn't have continued the rest of the series. I only did it because it was on my TBR and it was part of this challenge, and I wanted to get it read and done. And then the third book series I have finished was actually a 5-book series, so I'm really happy that I've managed to read this in the first half of the year. So that series is the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. We have our first book, which is The Lost Hero. We then go into the second book, which is The Son of Neptune. We then go into the third book, which is The Mark of Athena. 4th book is The House of Hades, and then the 5th book is The Blood of Olympus, which will be featured in my July reading wrap-up if you want my thoughts. But essentially in this book, we return back to Camp Half-Blood. We've got some new demigods. Can I remember all of their names? So the 7 demigods, part of a new prophecy. We have Percy, Annabeth, Jason, Piper, Hazel, Leo, Frank. Bam. I remembered all 7 of their names. Do I remember which one is from which camp? No, I don't. Yeah, there's this new prophecy. We need 7 demigods because the mother goddess, her name is Gaia. She wants to awaken and rise from the earth. In order for that to happen, she has to have a male and a female demigod bleed on the earth on the sacrificial part of the land on a particular day, and she can come back to life, and she is trying to mess with them because she wants to come back to life and take over Olympus, because we have a Greek camp and now a Roman camp. So we've got Camp Half-Blood and also Camp Jupiter, because we're now meeting the gods from both their Greek and Roman counterparts. They are switching in between both of their personalities that they embody, depending on which, Roman or Greek they are, because they're slightly different. So they're useless. So we don't have them to help us kill monsters, because in order for us to kill monsters, like the giants and the titans and stuff like that, you need a god and a demigod in order to kill them. It's hard for them to do because they can't sort of focus on one personality because they're being thought about in the Greek and also the Roman counterparts. Each book is like 500 pages long, and not much happened in each book, in all honesty. That's that. I rated the whole series 3 stars. Glad I read it. Glad it's done. I don't think I'm going to be picking up another Rick Riordan series this year. I was planning on reading one of the trilogies that he has, but you know what? Your girl's done. I'm going to save that for next year, I think. But they are the 3 series that I have read. So in total, we've read 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. And then the other series we need to read, the other 3, I should say. The first one, which is also on my 24 books on a read in 2024 challenge, is the Slam trilogy by Colleen Hoover, which features the first book Slammed, the sequel Point of Retreat, and then the third and final novel, which is This Girl. I have not picked this series up because it's a high school series or like college. It's Colleen Hoover's kind of like first sort of series she's brought out. So I am kind of worried that it's just going to be maybe a little bit too young for me. I'm not going to enjoy the writing style. It's going to annoy me. I've been reading her entire back catalogue and her books for the most part. I don't enjoy. They kind of annoy me. So I'm not anticipating great things. That is why I've put off reading this series, because I just don't think I'm going to enjoy it very much. And I like to read books I enjoy. So if I know I'm not going to like something, I'm kind of hesitant to pick it up. This is probably going to be the last book series I do pick up in this challenge, in all honesty. And then the second series that I still need to read is the Young Elite series by Mary Lou, which features the first book, The Young Elites, The Rose Society, and then also The Midnight Star. So the main reason I haven't picked these books up is because I wanted to read the Legend trilogy first. So now that I have finished the Legend trilogy, I can start reading these books. I do think we focus on like the villain or something. Is that right? I don't really remember. But yeah, I'm gonna pick this up. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people don't. So we'll just see how we go. I'll probably do the same thing that I did with the Legend trilogy, which is just read one book a month to get through them. So we've got 6 months left in the year, so we've got plenty of time. But yeah, that's the main reason I haven't picked these up, was because I thought that I should read the Legend trilogy first. And I kind of felt like I was going to enjoy this series a bit more, so that's why I did it last, because I wanted to kind of read the other series I knew I didn't think I was going to like very much first. And then the third and final series that I need to read to be successful in this challenge is the Crown of Feathers series by Nikki Palpretto, which features the first book, Crown of Feathers, the sequel, Heart of Flames, and then the third book, Wings of Shadow. Look how thick these books are. Does it annoy me that they're different heights? Yes, it does, but that's what happens when you buy books online. If you've seen my July TBR, I actually have this one on my TBR this month to read. I haven't started it yet. Probably by the time this video goes live, I'm hoping to have read this book. But we basically are focusing on two sisters, or we did have two sisters. I think one of them has been killed, but this sister had told the sister that she killed that she wasn't going to let the throne come between them, but it sounds like that she does, and I think she kills her or has her killed. I'm not too sure, in order for her to be the ruler, because she doesn't want to be ruled. And we have phoenixes, and that's all I know. It's a phoenix story, and it's potentially going to have badass female main characters, and I'm kind of here for it. They're phoenix riders. I don't really know what's going to happen in this series, except that I'm here for the journey and the experience, and we're just going to see how it goes. So I've just not picked it up because I wanted to read other fantasy novels that were on my 24 books in 2024 challenge. So now that I've kind of smashed out majority of those series, I feel like I can start these books. I think I'm going to read them once a month because, like I said, they're thick boys. I'm starting off with Crown of Feathers, and I guess depending on how much I enjoy this one is going to determine when I pick these two up. But I am excited to give them a go and get them read and get them off my TBR, because they take up so much room and I could fit so many more books on my cart if it wasn't for these big chunky boys. Okay guys, so that is the update on how I'm going with my reading goals and with the book series that I want to read in 2024. So in this book series challenge, I do have to read essentially 20 books when you break it down to how many books in total, and I have managed to read 11, so I only have 9 left to go. So we're halfway through this challenge. We're going really well. I think it's achievable because it's only 3 series. I smashed out the Heroes of Olympus, which was the big chunker that I was worried about reading because there's so many books, but I am really happy with the position that I'm in, and I'm excited to see how we go. If you would like to know my thoughts and feelings on any of these books more in depth, please make sure you check out all of my reading wrap-ups. All of the books are discussed in that month. If there's a particular book that you would like to know my reading thoughts on and you'd like to know which video it features in, just flick me a message and I can let you know which month I read it in, so you know which video to check out. That also goes for the same. I didn't say this in my 24 books to read in 2024 challenge video, but if there are any books in that video that I've briefly mentioned that you'd like to know my in-depth thoughts, can put a comment under that video, put a comment under this video. I will let you guys know which reading wrap-up it is in. But that's it for the update videos on my challenges and how I am going. The next time I update you guys will be November/December. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye!